of the hour, a real journalist, someone you should be proud to listen to on the Savage Nation, James O'Keefe, Line 10, welcome to the Savage Nation. James, what a great job you did today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be with you.
So, I mean, I've told him that the CNN producer was busted, admitting the Trump Russia story was BS. Who actually went out there and got that on tape?
That was one of our investigative reporters who spent weeks, months building a relationship with this guy. He's a supervising producer in Atlanta, and getting that producer to trust him enough to open up to him. That was one of our undercover journalists that we have employed at Project Veritas. We have a handful of really dedicated, really mission-driven undercover people that go out and are currently inside of these different media organizations.
But look what they did to you last time. Look what the evildoers did when you had one of your people many times go into the butchers at Planned Parenthood and get them on tape. They actually sued you and wanted to jail you for recording them without their permission, right?
Yes, they have tried to make these allegations before. They're spurious allegations, and we just keep hitting them back harder. I mean, we have a bunch of lawyers that we vet everything we do before we do it. Georgia is a one-party consent state to film, where this was filmed in Atlanta.
Ah, so it wasn't done in California. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So tell us why, since America now knows it's been Zucker punched by CNN, why Zucker himself is skating free.
Well, I don't know if he will, honestly, after our story today, and we have another one coming tomorrow. Yes, we have a second video dropping on CNN tomorrow, and to follow up on this one, I don't know if he will. We'll see. I mean, CNN responded to this video. They said that they support diversity of opinion. So there's behind.
You mean does that include fabricated stories? Is that considered diversity now?
And that's a great point. I'm going to read you the quote. This is just released from CNN. Quote: CNN stands by our producer John Bonifeld. That's the guy on the tape we exposed. Diversity of personal opinion is what makes CNN strong. We welcome it and embrace it. Unquote. So
what does that mean? Bonifeld said it's mostly BS now, the Russia story, and that the whole thing was pushed for ratings. That's diversity.
We have them in a difficult bind. We have them between a rock and a hard place. They don't know what to do. We have another tape coming tomorrow. To answer your question, I mean, Zucker's the CEO of CNN. He sets the culture of the organization. He sets the pace of the organization. This guy that we filmed, he's just telling the truth. He's being honest about the way the institution is run. He says at one point in the recording, he says that Jeff Zucker told him to stop with his journalism and go back to Russia. So the tape kind of speaks for itself.
No, I understand. We played the tape, James, on the show. I'm particularly shocked by the nakedness of it. So going back again to your reporter who got him on tape, and 3 people were fired. John Bonifeld was fired. Is that correct?
He has not been fired yet. They're actually standing behind him. That's with their diversity of opinion statement.
What do you mean? The guy who's the senior producer of that big lie was not fired?
No. The story that we released today, John Bonifeld, who says it's all about ratings and who says that it's all a business, he has not been fired.
So who did they get? Some lowly poor reporters?
So our story today is just on John Bonifeld, who is the producer who made the comments about it's all about ratings and the Russia stuff is all BS. And he has not been fired yet. He is just sort of testifying about the culture inside of CNN, and he's talking about Zucker. CNN is standing behind him. We thought they would fire him, but they have not fired him yet.
Okay, so who is the holding company for CNN? Is it still Time Warner?
Time Warner, yes.
And who's on the board of Time Warner? Do we know?
I think it's public information. I don't have it in front of me, but easy enough to...
Well, look, we got to go where the money is. It's those people who sit on that corporate board who are ultimately responsible for the fake news. Isn't that true, James?
Yes, 100%, and that's actually...
Let me make a bigger point with you guys, because you're going to be on the firing line on this. If a major corporation like Exxon has a tanker that goes aground and spills oil into Prudhoe Bay, it was Exxon that was responsible, wasn't it?
Yes.
not the tanker captain. So in this case, Zucker is only the tanker captain, but Time Warner's board of directors is ultimately responsible for spilling that oil, that slime on the American mind.
That's a great point, and it should be a campaign. It should be launched against CNN. That's actually not a bad idea. I might actually...
No, come on, James. You know that we like to get at the truth here with, let us say, the fact is that's the Time Warner board who should be put into the hot seat here. Otherwise, nothing will change. They need to be told that they are responsible for the climate in America. Look, it goes well beyond lying about Trump. If it was only about Trump, we wouldn't be this excited, but they've lied about everyone in the conservative movement for 20-some-odd years. They are the ones who send cameras out when people riot, whether it be in Ferguson or Philadelphia. They're the ones who throw fuel on these fires, making people riot even more to appeal to the cameras. We know that.
Yes. Honestly, I was just trying to think about what can I send to my email, my supporters at Project Veritas, and now I think I'm going to send them, please tweet at the board of directors, because you said the CEO is works for the board. So we have to put pressure on their board, and we have to say, Zucker needs to resign. The CEO is responsible for the...
That's right. Zucker, the captain of the Exxon Valdez, who was found to be drunk and reckless, was forced to resign, if I remember correctly. Why shouldn't the captain of CNN be forced to resign now that we know he was encouraging this fake news?
I think that's an excellent idea, and it is something that I will do. And by the way, he may not escape this. We have a story coming out tomorrow. It's more of this type of thing, except this guy, which I will not say his name yet because I don't want to scoop myself, but this guy that we have coming out tomorrow is, everyone knows his name. And this sort of diversity of opinion crap reaction that we just got, it's not a diversity. Everyone at the organization has the same view. It's that this stuff is not real. And we just need to make a Greek chorus of voices of everyone saying it. And by the way, let me just say this about our reporting. We spent months on this story. We have a great team. It's not just me. I'm proud of my team. We spent months getting this information. And I really do believe that the media is, as Steve Bannon said, they do not represent the American people. They're not doing journalism. I don't know what they're doing. They're just agitprop, commentators just making up narratives. But we're do real digging to try to find out what the motivations of these people really are.
Yeah, but look at the reporters who are prominent on CNN: Andy Blooper, Wolfie Blitzkrieg, Jake Woodpecker, Jim Acosta, Don Lemonade. I mean, these are not really high on the list of intelligentsia. They're not really responsible for the climate at CNN. Where do you get your money from to do your great journalistic work, by the way, James?
That's a great question. We are a 501c3 nonprofit group. We have thousands and thousands of people. Just today we had 200 people send us in, $100. That pays the salaries of my...
All right, I want my listeners to listen carefully. Please listen to this very carefully. I don't make a nickel off this. I'm not asking for it to go through the Savage Legal Fund. I want James O'Keefe, the number one journalist in America of Project Veritas, who finally ripped the lid off CNN. Would you please send him $10? James, what is the address?
It's ProjectVeritas.com. That's Project VERITAS.com. Project Truth. And then you can just go on the donation, and it's tax deductible or non. I don't have advertisers. I don't have people who tell me what to do. I'm not on the pressures that they have. We are independent. We are a team. It's not just me. I've got a couple dozen of these full-time people who work in the shadows, undercover people who care about their country. ProjectVeritas.com, and you can make a donation there.
Well, I'm going to link it up on MichaelSavage.com and encourage people to make donations. But before you go, James, this is such a big story because it has ramifications well beyond CNN. I asked my audience to call the show and say which other major stories are fake news. And more importantly, which major stories are not being covered by those in the fake news business. They were calling on things such as MSNBC's Mad Cow, the fake Trump tax story. She was never fired. Why is Pill Griffin never cited as encouraging this kind of attack on Trump and these lies about Trump? They're a sister network. They do the very same kind of thing. Their ratings have gone through the ceiling since they started to destroy Trump or try to destroy Trump. They also are responsible. Wolf Blitzer peddled false financial record story about Trump over and over again. So the puppets are not the problem. It's the puppeteers who are the problem, and the puppeteers ultimately answer to the board of directors of the holding corporation that owns these news companies, James. And I'm not asking you to do the work of Congress, by the way. That's the work of Congress, not of Project Veritas. Last question, James. You were roundly attacked for the exposure of the butchers at Planned Parenthood. You showed these vicious, horrible human beings boasting about their new cars and their vacations they made from selling baby body parts. You were then attacked for recording them without their permission. Who was it in Congress who led that attack?
Every Democrat, almost every member of the Democratic Party. I've been attacked by so many people. I think Dick Durbin has attacked me. Honestly, I don't even remember. There's been so many attacks.
So how do you get up every day? How do you get up every day and swallow that anxiety that you must face? Anyone in this business of telling the truth, as I do, how do you get up every morning and swallow that anxiety like a hairball and go on with your work? How do you do it? What's your technique?
I would love to have an hour-long conversation with you about that, but the 30-second version is you have to. In this life, everyone wants to be loved. And sometimes you're hated, but you can tell a man's virtues by his enemies, his vices by his friends. You can tell a man's virtues, you stood for something. And I care about justice. What drives me? People say, well, why are you doing this? Because I deeply care about justice. I want people to know what's actually going on. I want to inform my fellow citizenry. That's what drives me.
Who hired? Were you originally hired by Andrew Breitbart?
When I did the Acorn investigation with the pimp and prostitute, I did those videos. And then I worked with Andrew for a year. Yes, when I did those videos, he hired me for a year when he sort of talent scout, and when we did those videos. Yes,
he was a wonderful man. The world lost a really wonderful man when he died. So your website is, again, please repeat it. It's ProjectVeritas.com.
That's correct. It's Project Veritas, Project Veritas.com. There's a donate page. You can make a $10 or $20 donation or $10 donation, whatever you're willing to do.
Beautiful. I want to thank you again. As a man who's been on the firing line myself, trying to get up here 3 hours a day for over 20 years, I can just imagine the pressure you are under, and you're one of the few journalists, if not the only journalist I respect in this country. Again, this is a great day for me to have a man like James O'Keefe on the show. James, thank you very much for being with us on the Savage Nation.
Thank you for your wonderful comments, and I appreciate the support.
Always. I want to just say